While we have discussed in ample quantity about better imparting knowledge, skills, and abilities to our children and the role of AI in helping that transition, or we may have discussed the scary effects of AI on our world and how we must change to prepare younger generations for a new world with AI, we haven't yet discussed enough of the grassroots level about keeping each and every classroom happy and the role of AI in helping that. As the adage goes, take care of the small things and the big things will fall into place. To speak more about transforming classroom experience with technology and AI, we have Ms. Poonam Singh Jamwal.
Ms. Poonam is the Director of Extramarks Education India Private Limited and the CEO of the Extramarks Education Foundation. A Chevening Scholar and alumnus of the University of Bradford, Ms. Poonam holds a Master's in Business Administration, Master's in Education, and PG Journalism. We invite you up on stage, ma'am. Over to you.
Good morning, everyone. And I will try to contain 30 years into 5 minutes and try sharing with you the feasibility plan. We have been discussing AI for the last 2 days, so everybody has set the ground of what AI is, the fear of AI, the excitement around AI, but what I am going to talk about, how AI is going to help us make our classrooms happy. There are 2 myths I would like to clear before we go ahead. For the longest time, I have tried to explain why a teacher like me got into humanities with vengeance and heart and went on to develop AI. I'm on the other side. To me, AI is not the glamour, but sum total of all of you and all of us. It's, after all, our best practices that come together and technologies improve themselves, the chatbots improve themselves, but they take out the crux of years of knowledge and reduce it in easy, usable bites so that your mind is free to be able to embark upon new creative ideas of how to refine the human race. So my favorite outcome of AI is a scene from Matrix. All of you must have seen Matrix. And this is my ultimate beauty of AI as I understand.
Can you fly that thing?
Not yet.
Operator.
Tank, I need a pilot program for a B-212 helicopter. Hurry. Let's go.
Did you get this? So ultimate outcome is what matters. You have to solve a problem. This is just another tool. You do just have to fly a helicopter. Let's get there. And that is sum total of so many pilots and engineers that comes down to easy, biteable ways of actually executing your solution. So ultimately, the human mind is used on top of that on how to solve a problem. And what we really ultimately depend on is a moral compass. So if I have to tell all of you, I love you, I can say it on the mic and I can send you a SMS, I can actually send you a emoji. So that technology does not take away from us the crux of us being human. It just makes time for us to be more human. So I am coming down to the practical aspect of a classroom after we have actually gone into the awesomeness and the fear in terms of black mirror where AI is concerned. There are no jobs that are going to be taken away. They might become extinct, but every person is going to be employable. So our focus today is not how are we preparing our children in the schools. Our whole focus has to be that how are we making time in the classroom for the adults to interact with children. So I have brought down the whole point of AI into 3 to 4 things to create a happy classroom. Ultimately, a happy classroom is a classroom that is engaged, where there is an active learning environment. So why is it a teacher has to teach in a classroom? She shouldn't teach in a classroom. What we need to change is the roles and the rules. Ideally, a child should have a personal learning device the way it was discussed so that he can pace his learning. All happiness is based on self-esteem. We do not remember what we learnt in school, but we remember how we felt. How did the teacher ask me a question? How did the teacher give self-esteem? By making children come on the stage and speak. So ultimately, these are the memories we carry. But the way Ravi keeps saying time is the most valuable variable in an aspiration for everything Leena said. Unless we make time for that, and unless we respect the child's privacy into learning, absolutely, and only to come in the class to handle the hard topics. And when he's talking to a child, the way we had tutorials in colleges, why can't we not have those tutorials in the classroom? When you take 5 days to explain one chapter, why is it that we cannot let a child come with a level of learning, walk into the class, and actually have discussions with the teacher? Because ultimately in this world of AI, when people like us who are a textbook-bred generation have been taken over by Swiggy and Make My Trip, and we are Ubering into the world of technology, the children who are born there have to be empowered. And for our wisdom to really pass on to the children, we need to be sitting in the same room with them. And we need to be in the same environment with them. So happiness, I always felt that our generation, happiness and learning never went together. Because all of us remember the fear of exam, the fear of teacher, the fear. And as adults, we have to introspect and reflect, like Arnab said, that the best learning is when we are happy. When as adults we are happy, as children we are happy, that is the best learning. And in fact, it should be the aim of all teaching. But I read a very beautiful quote, and that is us. That adults are afraid not to inflict misery in learning environment, lest the learners are indisciplined, unsuccessful, and unhappy. We are saving them from unhappiness and making them unhappy in the classroom. And then this technology, whether a child has his own learning partner, which is structured to his curriculum, yet lets him take flights of fancy, whether he's an auditory learner or a visual learner. We allow him to explore the world of knowledge and make him independent learner. And we come and make him a collaborator in the classroom is when we prepare him. So we have to change our own benchmarks of morality. What is indiscipline? What is unsuccessful? And happiness. I don't want happiness after 12 years of college and school. I want happiness today. And can I have joy of learning? So there are two elements in this. One is the immersive AI, the way we know AR, VR, it is already there. Whether it is in the smart classes, it is in the movies, it is there. And that does bring a degree of joy, but ultimately it is a conversation with the teacher. If we all of us rewind back into our times, which are the classes we remember? Is when a teacher actually stopped and asked us what we thought about something. And that is what has remained with us. And it is a duty to leverage these technologies for depth of knowledge and then application with you in the classroom through looking at the world scenarios and looking for solutions, putting them on projects on that, and not be scared of allowing engagement of the child with the learning content. We keep focusing on engagement of the child with the teacher. We have to encourage his engagement with the learning content for him to know which path he wants to take. Second is the teacher-student relationship. Relationship brings esteem and self-worth. When we are social animals, and when our friends come and say hello to us, or when a teacher hugs us, or somebody reprimands us, it shapes us as people. But the purpose is not to create misery for the child, but a joy of learning. And by using these tools, not only does it become joyous for him individually when he's exploring knowledge and increasing his self-worth, also when he walks into the class with that confidence that I am not the backbencher, I also know. Second thing is that for the teachers not to look at them as a block. And it is very difficult in a population like ours to not to look at them as a block because we have to cover so much. But to me, ideal way is to use the assessments to use as a sieve to actually bring out the uniqueness of a child. How you handle topics, how you bucket the students in the class, how you create mentorship program within the class. These sieves will help you get to the bottom of it, respecting the most valuable resource, that is time. And ideally, the school systems should finish at class 9th with all foundational knowledge and a wisdom to hit the world. And in 10th, 11th, 12th, they should be working with the industry and actually looking at how to apply that knowledge under the mentorship of the schools. Usually, these children are handheld till class 12 and thrown into the sea. And they flounder for 2-3 years and find themselves 5 years into a job. What a waste of human resource. So we need to welcome ourselves. We are the gatekeepers. And we have to have every child equipped with a learning app, a teacher equipped with a learning app. We have to welcome ChatGPT. And the point is that it is not submission of a project. It is how he goes and defends a project. When he brings a project, you don't read it and sign it and say, very nicely written. You say, come, stand, defend it. Because I am a true believer in an open book test. Because why are you forcing him to get into rote? Tell him, here's the material. Let's talk, let's discuss, let's apply this knowledge into the real world. So my entreaty with all of us who are such an adopter of technology, look at shopping, man. I shop at 1 o'clock at night was something I need. And suppose a child needs something 1 o'clock at night, he should have it. And then why are we being miserly when it comes? So every child should be equipped, and we are. And I love Shehnai, and this is my last sentence of the whole speech. It's such a pleasure to be with all of you. I just want to conclude, AI is you. So use as many technology tools so that your voice comes up into their world and lends your wisdom to them. Thank you so much.